everyone out there in the land of YouTube. This is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the one and only Psychic News Network. It is Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, 2023. How you guys doing out there? Boy, is my table a mess. So I don't show it to you. Got all kinds of stuff. I forgot to put the gratitudes on the gratitude tree the other night, so we have to make sure we do that tonight. There's a lot going on in the news. I hope that you had an opportunity to tune in and watch our show yesterday, Kathy Beal, Spirit Talk Podcast. We did a really in-depth dive into the astrology of a certain cast of characters that you could probably guess who. But check it out, because it was very insightful and it was very hopeful too. And Kathy is awesome. I expect low attendance tonight because it is Thanksgiving Eve, but you never know. Warren loved it. Warren loved that show yesterday. Yeah, it's going pretty well. That astrology thing, once we started, we just didn't stop with Kathy. Kathy's really, really an amazing astrologer. And just a small recap about the show is that the astrology for DJT is really looking awful. And boo-hoo. Speaking of boo-hoo, somebody was on the stand defending. Now I didn't get a lot of this story. I just caught a little bit of the story that somebody that worked for the accounting firm of Trump.org had to come out with the truth on the stand. And I'm starting to see this certain kind of energy with people that are told to do what Donald Trump wants, and they don't want to do it, but they end up doing it, and there's just a certain energy about them. It's hard to describe. But I was looking at Harrison Floyd in Georgia in court, and I was seeing this on Midas Touch. Harrison Floyd, I think he was one of the fake electors. And there's a gag order, and he's not supposed to intimidate witnesses or, interfere with the case. And he went ahead and he's like thumbing up tweets or whatever you call them, social media posts, doing a thumbs up when someone's bashing Jenna Ellis for, telling the truth. So he just keeps, he can't help himself. He keeps making it worse for himself. So we'll get to the news, don't worry. I mean, there's a lot of news today, as usual. So I'm noticing, I'm watching Harrison Floyd, and he's violating the terms of the whole court terms. Like, you're not supposed to intimidate witnesses. He's going ahead and pushing the envelope and intimidating witnesses anyway. And just looking at him in the court. Thank you, Maria. Looking at him in the courtroom, Harrison Floyd, there's a certain kind of an energy in their heads. The ones that are lying for Trump or that are doing Trump's bidding. I know this might sound crazy, but there's a certain kind of checked out of my normal discerning brain, and I have to do what Donald Trump told me to do. Does anybody know what I mean? Maybe not. But I'm describing what I feel. And there's a certain type of energy that I read on people that are lying for Trump or doing Trump's bidding. Damon's saying yeah. Maria's thinking about leaving Chicago for more. Okay, I kind of lost the plot on the chat. Can't relate. You can't relate to what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's sort of a look. But for me, I'm describing what I pick up energetically. That's why I wondered if you know what I mean. Does he look scared? I don't think Harrison Floyd looks scared to me. It's more like, must do what the master said, must do what the master said at all cost. That. They all have it. Just telling you, they all have it. Let's read a little bit about that, shall we? Who's got a turkey in the oven? Very cult programmed, yes. They're in a cult. Well, I guess that's the best way to describe it. Brainwashed. Must do what the master said. Okay, Jude says, I hadn't seen you in the chat before. Jude gets it. Okay. Big bully. Because it's a cult. Yes, whatever energetically is happening in their psyche. Yes, that's what I'm referring to. I just wondered if you knew what I meant. Pay attention. The next time you see somebody who's lying for Trump, pay attention to their expressions and their energy and get back to me on that. We're going to pull 3 cards about Harrison Floyd. We're going to start there. Turkey is in the fridge of the Shoppers Supermarket. Are you doing Thanksgiving on the weekend or something? Why are they so afraid of 45? I think it's what people are saying. It's a cult. And in a cult, I'm going to mention Jessica Denson, who's on Midas Touch, who explains it quite well because she was under the cult spell. As was Cassidy Hutchinson. It's this loyalty that Trump demands. Oh, somebody gave me 99 cents. Thank you. Every little bit helps. Yeah, Jessica Denson is awesome. I have a hard time listening to her shows sometimes because they get kind of panicky. But she really is good. I opt to get out of the panic zone. I mean, there's reasons to panic, but we just have to not panic. See, James is saying that he wants to know what Trump has on these people. He has them under his psychological control. That's what he has. I mean, think about all the people that are lying for Trump. It's hundreds, maybe thousands. I mean, the ones that are in a public, the public light. He makes them sign an NDA, exactly. So, I mean, I don't look at that as what he has on them. When somebody says, what does Trump have on these people, my interpretation of what you're saying is, does he have something to blackmail them with? So, let me just pull 3 cards about Harrison Floyd. I haven't seen one person up there that said they have a turkey in the oven. Maybe I missed it. Up your time for other readers. I don't know what that means. Harrison Floyd. I have the Fool card. I'm reading the little bitty cards to start with. I have the Fool card. Yeah, so this indicates that he's a little bit brainwashed. Harrison Floyd's brain isn't working quite right. Brainwashed. Because of the King of Pentacles. So Harrison Floyd is under the influence of the King of Pentacles, which is like Trump is telling him to like for example, Jenna Ellis bashing posts. And the Page of Cups is Harrison Floyd is going to have to pay the price for doing Trump's bidding. I think that Harrison Floyd might be behind bars. I think he was already behind bars once. Is Harrison Floyd going to go behind bars for violating the gag order? No. Maybe he won't do it again? Is it because he stops violating the order? Is that why? It looks like he's going to stop violating the order. Let's see. He needs to be deprogrammed. Do we have any wrenches in the house? When people insult me, it throws me off. That's why they do it. The glasses are to read the cards. Why am I explaining myself? Jeez. It looks like Harrison Floyd will stop it. He'll stop violating the order. Thank you to the wielders of the wrench. Deprogramming doesn't really work and violates individual will. Are you talking about cult deprogramming? Because the judge really couldn't put him in jail because Trump is doing the same thing. Well, yeah, it's one and the same. Poor Donald. Yeah, it's all the same, right? Okay, so you were talking about cults. Well, it's not true that deprogramming somebody from a cult doesn't work, because it doesn't always work, but it does work. It's not something that it just has like no success. More mob boss mentality. Well, Trump is a mob boss anarchist, I want to say. So let's pull a few cards about whether the violent rhetoric coming out of Trump is going to continue. Cheryl's saying Elon is in trouble. We have a lot to cover tonight. I've been tossing it around in my mind that my videos need to be shorter, but we'll see if we can achieve that tonight. I'm not sure. By the way, tomorrow I have a Church of Spirituality service at 12 Eastern Time. 12 noon Eastern Time. I have over 200 attendees, so Warren's saying we need to do a group hug. Ready for a group hug? A group Thanksgiving Eve hug. Ready? 1, 2, 3, group hug. Hugging, supporting, sending love out, sending gratitude out. I'm grateful for all of you. Yes. Hug, 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 hug. 3 cards about, nice hug. About whether Trump is going to stop the violent rhetoric. Oh, thank you, Miss Orchid's Garden. You're very sweet. I feel the appreciation from all of you. Very much. Thank you. They keep us in the dark. You feel like a mushroom. Do you feel like you're in the dark? Talking leaves? Who's keeping you in the dark? Yeah, well, I wasn't planning on a big crowd tonight because it's like a holiday night. But it's just like I don't expect a big crowd on Friday night. And then I start going, don't you guys have a life? Just joking. What's it say about me? Is Trump going to continue to violate the gag order? Well, the Tower card is coming. So I would say something's going to happen and it's going to have consequences for him. Don't you love it when the psychic is vague? Something's going to happen. Sorry. Trump is up to two. Yeah, this is a trail of destruction. What I'm asking is he going to stop the violent rhetoric? And I get that he's not, and it's going to lead to something. It's going to kind of build up to a collapse for him. I'm just going to say something to the people in the chat. I have the news in my head, so it's kind of like in a list in my head. So right now I'm on this topic. And if I don't get to it like halfway through, then you can ask me. Just saying, I'm just trying to kind of keep up. I love you all. It looks like he's going to continue to violate the gag order and the restrictions on his speech. What Trump is doing, and this is his MO, and you probably have already noticed this and you probably already know it. What he's doing is he's seeing how much he can push. I'm the Friday night party. I know no one has a date, including me. He's seeing how far he can push. Trump is really, I mean, look at what he's doing. He's quoting Hitler, for God's sake. He's seeing how far he can push and get away with it. He's seeing how much he can harass and get away with it. So it looks like that's going to come apart for him. That's going to fall apart for him. He's going to push a little too far. I'm going to ask the guides if there will be a violent incident, let's hope not, that makes the court make him stop. Is there going to be, are we seeing the likelihood of a violent event where he's forced to stop, where the courts are just, yeah. So let's pray. You guys keep bringing up the Rainbow Bridge, so I'll tell you my psychic impression. I'll just tell you now. I already tuned into it. You probably can too. Well, Abby, I'm having a comment. It would be a nice change to ask on something positive. There is good news in the world. I read about Joe Biden all the time. That's good. Anyway, so just to recap what I was just reading on. It looks like Trump will be forced to stop the violent rhetoric. It looks like there will be an incident. And that's what's going to lead to that. That's why I just saw the Tower card. I know, he's like a petulant two-year-old. It's bad. The incident at Niagara Falls at the border of the United States and Canada today. It feels like somebody who was, it has the energy of a shooting. I know there wasn't a shooting, but it has the energetic makeup of a shooting. What I mean by that is somebody who just got all crazed and in a crazy, destructive, out of the body, I feel people disassociate. Crazed state, just went and crashed and the vehicle burned. It was like a suicide of a crazy person who was interested in stirring society up to a kind of a hysteria about this might be a terrorist attack. But I feel like it was some crazed individual who was creating destruction and suicide for themselves that causes destruction, knowing they wanted to go out with a bang. Literally wanted to go out with a bang. And it reminded me of something similar that happened several months ago. There was a truck that blew up under a bridge. Do you remember that? No, I didn't get that it was a terrorist attack. No, and it seems like you guys are getting the same thing. I did not pick up a terrorist attack. I picked up that it was a person that felt terrorized within themselves. Yeah. So, double suicide. That's what I got. I haven't heard any news about it. All I heard was I was walking down the street. I think I was going to the store. And I heard about it. And I tuned in. And that's what I got. Elon Musk is helping Abbott run Texas. Boy, look at the surprised look on my face. I'm trying to muster up a shocked expression that Elon Musk is helping Greg Abbott. Just can't seem to find the shock. Sorry, I'm just too nosy. I have to see what you guys are talking about. Something makes no sense that Maria said. That was my bridge reading. That was about the, the explosion at the border. So we covered that. Wildflower Wind wonders what motivates Elon Musk. What motivates him? A lust for power. A lust for creating chaos. Freebird Spirit said the same thing about the tragedy. Seems like we're all pretty consistent. Well, Elon Musk is way off balance. I mean, way. We'll read on him. We haven't read on Elon for a while. I have memories of a few years ago. Remember this? A few years ago, Elon Musk was on the cover of Time. If you were with me then, I was fit to be tied. Talk about rant. Oh my goodness, I was so mad. And then everyone got to see. That was way before he bought Twitter. Remember that? You're wondering why somebody has to get hurt and killed before the courts do anything? I can't answer all those questions. I didn't say somebody was going to get hurt and killed. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy. I did not say that someone was going to get hurt and killed. I did not say that. I said I saw a violent incident. We just have to pray that it's not, that. Guess what motivates him? Were you wondering what the truth is? What motivates Elon? Well, what I was just saying was, I don't know if I would say it motivates Elon. I would say the way that I read it is he's not right. He's not right. Elon Musk is not mentally sane. He's not mentally stable. Does anybody disagree with me on that? I mean, really. Time for some tea. So Sheila, I don't know if Sheila's given me the news report, but it does seem consistent with what I picked up. Lone Wolf, obviously with bombs in a car at the bridge. They were observed going 100, passing others, hit curb when they were sent to second checkpoint. Denying they were terrorists doesn't work. What do you mean denying they were terrorists? Meanwhile, back at Elon, but let me speak to that first, and then we'll go back to Elon. To me, a terrorist attack is when somebody's part of an organization that's a terrorist organization. There's usually a connection to a terrorist organization. I didn't pick that up. Elon is dark. That's true. Okay, back to Elon. Happy Sun in Sagittarius, everybody who's a Sagittarius. How many Sagittarians do we have out there? There were 2 people in the car. Right, it was a double suicide. So, I don't think that Elon Musk is a genius. I've never thought Elon Musk was a genius. That's why I was so mad when he was on the cover of Time. Yeah, the man is, Elon is, he's really off mentally. He was brought up, what I pick up on him, I don't know a lot about his background, but I did see a picture of his mom. I saw like a few pictures of his mom, and she's really, it feels to me like Elon's mom is very narcissistic, because she's like, I don't know, I think she's in her 70s, and there's nothing wrong with this, so she's like really ultra into her appearance. Oh, Sagittarius, Sage of Fire. That makes sense for a Sagittarius. So there's kind of a coldness there and a superficiality in the Musk family. I'm not sure what his dad was all about, or he is from South Africa. Oh, his dad was abusive. That makes sense. She's a model. Yeah, that's what I saw. So hence, that's why I was saying she's all really absorbed in her appearance, and you know what I'm saying. So Elon's gone full-on anti-Semite, and Ken Paxton from Texas, who's a let's see, overt, gosh, I just want to say like multi-layered criminal, Ken Paxton, is defending Elon Musk. Yeah, I know Elon's mom is a model. Is defending, thank you. So Ken Paxton is defending Elon Musk. My curiosity is getting the best of me. And I have to read what you're saying. Elon's dad has 2 kids with his stepdaughter. What? 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 I can't. I can't. My brain can't handle that. Elon's dad has 2 kids with his stepdaughter. Anyway. Ken Paxton, the multi-layered criminal from Texas, who the Republicans in Texas got impeached but not unseated. I think Ken Paxton was impeached but not unseated. Maybe somebody knows. It's hard to keep up with all this stuff. So Ken Paxton is defending Elon Musk's heinous anti-Semitism. I don't even know what he said on X. I don't want to know. Yeah, so Kathy's in the house. I know we looked at Ken Paxton's chart before. I'm pretty sure. He was impeached but not convicted. Okay. So he's still at it. I'm about done with all these multi-layered criminals that are just running around, running our country. We have another Sagittarius in the house. Yay! You get a bell. I'm ringing the bell for all the Sagittarians because the sun went into Sagittarius today. Yippee! I'm going to pull 3 cards about Elon and his anti-Semitism and his, I think he's inciting violence rhetoric. I don't want to say that without it being factual. I'm kind of assuming. Because if you are posting anti-Semitism on your platform, then directly or indirectly, you're calling for violence. You're calling for hatred. Paxton bragged about not counting ballots. Yeah, and these people are running. He's still in office. If it makes you feel any better, there is a law of karma. If it makes you feel any better, there is a law of karma. Is this going to be reined in? Is this going to be reined in? This violent, horrible criminality. And right now I'm thinking about Elon and Ken Paxton. Is it going to keep going? This is what we're going to see. We're going to see a back and forth about what's okay and what's not okay. Social media in the whole entire scheme of things on the timeline of history, social media is still relatively new. Yes, and companies who have ads on X that have been pulling out of X. Yes, that's true. Companies who have had ads on X, formerly known as Twitter, have been Nazi fascist ads? Wait, posts. You don't mean that there are Nazi ads? I don't think you mean that, right? Nazi posts. Can you believe 100 years later we're talking about Nazis? Almost 100 years later? It's going to be a back and forth and a back and forth and a back and forth with Elon and the anti-Semitic posts and the calls for violence, and which, they're one and the same. It's going to be back and forth for a long time. But to me, in my mind, at least the conversation will continue. the Knight of Swords says that there will be some laws on the books about what social media can and cannot do. And I just want to say, it's, you know, for the amount of non-enforcement that's possible, it's more like guidelines. And that from Tuesday. It's a conversation that we're going to hear a lot about. We need to form new laws and regulations because these companies have pulled out of X, and now what Ken Paxton was saying was that X should sue these huge corporations for pulling their ads from X because they don't want to be associated with anti-Semitism. Hello, who does? That's stupid. Why would you, unless you're a hateful, evil person, you wouldn't want your ad, if you have a business, you wouldn't want your ad on the same platform as Nazi rhetoric right next to your ad. Anybody would pull it. So what Paxton was saying, I just caught a little clip of this on a Midas Touch video, just a short snippet. And what I heard was that now Paxton is encouraging Elon Musk to sue these corporations. Fox Sports just pulled their ads too. So this is going to be a back and forth and a back and forth and a back and forth for a long time. This is going to be a national and international conversation, and there will be guidelines put in place. But Elon, if you see, these people are all of the same ilk. The law doesn't apply to them. They're absolutely lawless. Trump, Ken Paxton, I want to say Ron DeSantis, Greg Abbott. There's a list a million miles long. It feels like. Feels like a million miles long. There's a lot of them. And what they want to do is they want you to stay paying on their platform and support the evil and the violence. That's what they want. They want to sue you for not supporting. If you're a big company that has ads on their platform, what Elon wants to do is to be able to sue the corporation for not aligning with anti-Semitism and hatred. That's where we are. I know it's not grounds to sue, James, but that's where they are. That's what they're saying. We'll get to MAGA Mike. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. He falls in the same category. Clarence Thomas. I can think of a list that's very long of all these people that fall into the same category. And we will have no choice but to oust them. I'm trying to sift through my mind to figure out which questions I can answer right now, because I know there's a whole bunch. I'm asking this. Will the Biden administration make any headway on getting rid of fake news? That's what I'm asking. Will the Biden administration make any headway on countering fake news? And the justice card comes up. The more justice that happens with Donald Trump and all the criminals, yeah. Actually, well, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised at this. So the question I'm asking is the Biden administration going to be able to counter the fake news? And I have the justice card. The more justice happens for Trump, the Seven of Wands is we're moving away from the difficulty of every person believing, not every person, but every person who believes the fake news. We're moving away from that difficulty. Once again, I feel like there's going to be an event. There's going to be something that happens that shakes people out of their hypnosis. that shakes people out of their complacency. The star card is the United States. There are divine forces at work. Yes, justice prevails. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they have the money to create strain on the justice system, but justice wins here. So as far as the fake news, even though I hear people saying these Trumpsters are too stupid, they're uneducated, they're never going to change, they don't know any better, they're going to take over, you hear all the panic thoughts. I was going to say something, but I'll get to that later. The panic thoughts, even though people get all into this panic, let's not underestimate the intelligence of most American people. You're intelligent. I consider myself intelligent. Intelligent people. You know that Joe Biden won by upwards of 7 million votes in 2020. You know that most people that you know don't talk the way Donald Trump talks. Yeah, truth in broadcasting must be brought up. Yes. I do see that something's going to happen, and it will be. Yeah, Fox should have lost its license. I agree. But I'm not seeing no progress on that front. I'm actually seeing progress on that front. And I know it's crazy to call it a blessing in disguise, but let's just look at it from this perspective for a second. Trump being as outwardly, breathtakingly violent and horrific and calling for a fascist takeover of the United States, let's not sugarcoat it. Trump is calling for a fascist takeover of the United States. There are more intelligent thinking people in the... If you bring it down to bare bones like that, and that's the reality. You know that I'm not making that up. You know that that's actually what's going on. When it comes to that, the American people will choose to save their own lives. Let's pull 3 cards about... I'm going to go there with the energy moving towards the election in 24. About the American people, the intelligent people, standing up. Somebody help Gen 007. I need somebody to help bring up Gen 007. Oh, somebody just finished making a pie. I'm waiting. Somebody bring that thought up. Are you guys following? The world is in a downward spiral. We don't do that here, okay? So let's bring it up. We love that you're here. We just need the conversation to not be defeatist. So you can follow it up with the world is in an upward spiral. In many ways it is. We are dealing with a battle between the dark and the light. The dark is fighting more because the light is stronger. So I'm pulling 3 cards about moving into 2024. I don't watch polls anymore. They're all fake. What the energy is moving into 2024 with the presidential election coming up. The Emperor, death to the Emperor. This is about Trump. The death card in the tarot doesn't literally mean death. Almost always the death card doesn't mean actual death. I'm asking what's going to happen for 2024, moving towards, presidential year, all the, hullabaloo around the presidential year. And what I get, stay positive, Jen. You can do this. But we have to hold the space. We have to hold the space for peace and for harmony and for people to be okay. That's why I'm talking like this. And people that are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays know that. So we're just letting you know. The Six of Wands, this is all the information, the actual information about January 6th. We already know it. They can't pull the wool over our eyes. Thank you, Gloria. So going into 2024, the end of the Emperor who has no clothes. The end of the Emperor who has no clothes. You saw it here. So everybody, I want you to, get in a happy vibe. It's a holiday. It's like Thanksgiving. It's like Thanksgiving is like you get to kick back and relax and eat food. I mean, let's get in that vibe for a while. We need that. Maria's asking what happened to her friend who's a Trumpster. It's a cult. Read The Cult of Trump by Steve Hassan. It will help you. I promise. It will help you. Because it's hard to understand unless you understand how the cults work. Listen to Jessica Denson telling her story about how she got all in the Trump cult. The world will be fine. We've always had tough times. And just for the record, yesterday was the anniversary of the of John F. Kennedy being assassinated, and I was. If you have elderly parents and you go visit, the TV's always on, almost always, and the History Channel was on the other night, and I was sitting there watching the History Channel, and there's a special on John F. Kennedy and his presidency. And oh my God, you think you know history, and then you see footage from that time, and you can't even believe what was going on. I thought it was yesterday. Warren's saying it's today. I thought it was November 22nd. Oh, I had it wrong. I thought it was November 22nd. 22nd, 23rd. Okay. But anyway. The freedom fighters, John Lewis was a part of that. They would go, the black community, they'd go, the very brave people, in buses, and the horrible things that happened to them. The, people dying just out of total racist hatred. It was a very violent time. When John F. Kennedy got into office, the Soviet Union was like, they just wanted to destroy us. And John F. Kennedy got into office and didn't have enough experience with dealing with the world stage, and all these major crises were thrown upon him. It was rough. Protesters were killed. There was a Cuban Missile Crisis. We almost got blown out of the planet. I mean, it was unfreaking believable. John F. Kennedy got assassinated. Martin Luther King got assassinated. Bobby Kennedy got assassinated. And I'm sitting there watching this on the History Channel going, how the hell did we get through that? Oh, tomorrow's the 23rd. I'm sorry, I put the wrong date up. You know why I did that? I was working on my program for tomorrow and I put November 23rd. Sorry. Kent State. There was a lot going on. So if you get an opportunity, if the History Channel is running that special on John F. Kennedy, I had to leave before the assassination. I didn't want to watch the whole thing. I didn't really need to take that in. But anyway, Malcolm X, thank you for reminding me. The 60s was rough. But the only reason I just went on about that was because it was really bad. Not just in this country, in the world. It's amazing to even Medgar Evers, I don't know the history of, I don't know that name. I'll look that up. The world was in total turmoil and total crisis. And we made it through. So by some, I don't know, crazy miracle of life, we're still here. Be Grateful grew up having nightmares of nuclear attacks. There were like duck and cover drills. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the war in Vietnam. Yeah. It's just fascinating. Dale's saying there's so much going on. There was a lot going on then, too. There were a lot less people on the planet. I'm going to pull 3 cards about, is the world going to get past this? Dictators always fall eventually. Fidel Castro, madman. Oh my gosh. Grew up afraid her brother would be drafted, be grateful. Yeah, and 1967 was the summer of love. So there's always like the dark and the light. Okay. So here's what I'm getting, because I'm looking at what's going to happen on the world stage. What's going to happen in the world? Okay, this is exactly what I was just saying. Of course, what's going on in the Middle East, we cannot even... We can't even absorb it. It's just too horrific. So in the world, the 8 of Cups... a lot of sorrow and a lot of loss. But the 8 of Cups also indicates letting go of what doesn't work anymore. Let's just, I know it's heartbreaking. There are no words to describe. And Ukraine was already just unimaginably horrible. And now we've got it going on 2 fronts. It's kind of like as bad as World War II in some ways, right? The world has always had this going on. The 8 of Swords, where we can't wrap our minds around. The Holocaust, all of it. So, the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. But this is learning from the loss. This is why we need history in our classrooms. This is what we learn. We start to heal. This is where we feel stuck. How do we combat the evil? And the Page of Swords says the new generations have a new message. They have a new way forward. And we have to help. But the new generations have a new way forward. They're very advanced souls incarnating. That was a little bit of a rant, but we can't give up. The only way that we've made it through is people didn't give up. Right? Oh, thank you, Warren. Have we added anything in yet to the gratitude tree? No, we haven't added to the gratitude tree. There's too much going on. Let's add to the gratitude tree. I'm grateful for the YouTube. I'm grateful for PNN. Okay. Throw it out there. What are you grateful for? Thank you, Dancing Warrior. Your grandmother filled the Nazis. You did what? Your grandmother did what? Filled the Nazis from France? What do you mean filled the Nazis? Doesn't make sense. Grateful for PNN. Okay. YouTube and Midas Touch Network. Okay, we've got 3. YouTube, Midas Touch Network. They should endorse me. I'm endorsing them all the time. Oh, probably said lied to the Nazis. Okay. Some hostages released. We already put Joe Biden on the tree. All right, here we go. Yeah, we already put Joe Biden on the tree. We did that the other night. Here we are. We're grateful for PNN. We're grateful for YouTube because we get to be together. And we're grateful for PNN. And the rest of the gratitudes are just over there. They're over there. Okay. You wish Midas Touch Network would quit with the tabloid journal like thumbnails. Content is great, but leaders are like clickbait. I'm of the mind that it's really important to look at the whole picture. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing so much, so let's look at the whole picture. You know, they have ads in the middle of their broadcasts, but in the middle of their videos, but The whole picture is they're doing a huge service. Yeah. So, let's go to the Witch's Tarot. I feel like mixing it up tonight. MAGA Mike! We had a virtual hug. Electra Storm, were you not here for that? We can do another one, but you know me, I always forget. And Warren, I saw your card, your question about the Supreme Court. I can't answer that tonight. Okay. MAGA Mike. You ready for this? I'm not going to answer that tonight, Warren. Are you giving me a hard time? Are you really giving me a hard time? You know how I get. How about Saturday? What about Saturday? You mean how about Saturday? I need more information. You ready for the MAGA Mike? You ready for the MAGA Mike rundown? Here we go. I'm going to preface this by saying, if a woman needs health care, a woman should be able to access health care. Why is this night different from any other night? It's Thanksgiving Eve. Yes, I'll answer it on Saturday, but I don't do a PNN on Saturday. So you have to come to our Grassroots of Democracy meeting. Women deserve to have health care. Everyone deserves to have health care. Women deserve to have bodily autonomy. Women deserve to, if something happens and they become like something that there was unexpected, unpredictable, or something, God forbid, horrific happens to her, she becomes pregnant. A woman should be able to access health care, which may include abortion. MAGA Mike refers to that as the American Holocaust. MAGA Mike refers to women having access to abortion, and abortion being a thing that happens, which has happened throughout history. He refers to it as the American Holocaust. The Psychic News Network, right here, is where I do my best, and other readers do too. I do my best to give you news that I heard that made me go, WTF! Because we're all in this together and we need to talk about it. MAGA Mike says Planned Parenthood clinics are in the big cities and they're going after, MAGA Mike is professing that Planned Parenthood preys on pregnant women as if for profit. So according to MAGA Mike, Planned Parenthood is about having the more women in the urban areas in the cities because they're easy prey. P-R-E-Y. MAGA Mike believes that abortion doctors should be in prison. And MAGA Mike also believes that people who are gay need conversion therapy. And we talked about that yesterday on the show. Spirit Talk Podcast. What do you guys think of that? And on Spirit Talk Podcast with Kathy Beal, we looked at MAGA Mike's chart, so you might want to check that out. And while you're at it, hit the thumbs up on that vid. And share it. You lived in a what state? Let's see what's going to happen. I know, and he wasn't vetted, not even by the Republicans. And he doesn't have a bank account. And he thinks that Americans are all evil. How about that one? He thinks that you and I are evil. And he believes that people on the left are godless. To which I take issue with. He's nuts. He's certifiably cuckoo. It is the Crusades. He probably was in the Crusades. I mean, we got Mussolini and we got a former Crusader. I'm looking for my pendulum. We have Mussolini and we have a Christian Crusader. Oh my God. Was he in the Christian Crusades? Was it MAGA Mike? I'm not getting that. Yeah, it's utter nonsense. Yeah, and it's freaking dangerous as hell. Thank you, Cheryl. You're so sweet. He's a jackass. Oh, I could come up with some names. He hates you. MAGA Mike hates you. MAGA Mike says that Americans are depraved. Well, then maybe he should move. He went down to Mar-a-Lago. Yes, let's read on that. I had a lot of information on that psychically. He went to Mar-a-Lago. They're planning something. I'm pulling 3 cards about that Mar-a-Lago meeting. And I just, when I'm thinking about it, Trump feels weak to me. Trump feels extremely weak to me. And in fact, when I think about Trump right now, I feel like, you know, when somebody's just the bell is affirming. You know, when somebody is just really stressed, really hasn't slept and is really exhausted, you can tell by their voice. I feel like Trump right now is in that very exhausted, I don't know, he feels very weak. I don't pick up very much life energy from Trump right now. So this is about what was that all about at Mar-a-Lago? It looks like Trump offered MAGA Mike money, but he doesn't have any money. But Trump doesn't have any money. So MAGA Mike kind of found out, this is what I get. Trump proposed something to MAGA Mike for entertainment purposes only. I'm not really being that specific. Trump proposed something to MAGA Mike. And MAGA Mike, maybe he kind of got that it wouldn't really be that easy to pull off. Right? What are you guys laughing about? Manifesting the orange menace just fades away. Yeah, you're not the only one, Sharon. So he went to Mar-a-Lago, and Trump, I feel like, laid out this is what we can do, Mike. And it looked like it was going to be really, a lot of convolutions in order to make it work. And then I have the Queen of Swords, which indicates the justice that's coming for Trump is going to throw a wrench in the plan. And also all the investigations that are happening right now, because they didn't vet MAGA Mike, and now they're vetting him. So it feels extremely weak. It kind of worked for Kevin McCarthy. I'm not saying MAGA Mike didn't agree. What I am saying is it feels like a pretty big stretch what Trump is asking him to do. Right? We are doing this together, Sharon. We're sending our beams of light out to dissolve the darkness. To bind them from doing any more evil. Yes, you can see them. Remember the night I was saying, if you saw the movie Hocus Pocus, there's a scene at the end where Bette Midler, one of the Sanderson sisters, I think the other ones do too. They kind of disintegrate in that Disney-esque kind of way. You can imagine that. For the good of all, no harm to anyone, just dissolve their ability to do any more evil. So, that was about the meeting at Mar-a-Lago with Mike and Donald. What a couple of buttes. You think MAGA Mike's money is hidden in the walls of a church? I keep getting the dark side of the Federalist Society. Not just that. Leonard Leo pops to my mind too. Let's take a look. I don't know if Leonard Leo has... Alright, let's just ask this. Is MAGA Mike being funded by an oligarch? No. I keep getting the sense that he's pretty stupid. Is MAGA Mike being funded by the dark money that's made its way into the Federalist Society? Yes. Is MAGA Mike connected to Clarence Thomas in any way? Is MAGA Mike connected to Clarence Thomas in any way? I'm not getting that. Is MAGA Mike connected to anybody on the Supreme Court in a nefarious way? Yes. I want to know, I know we've been asking that, where are his congressional paychecks being deposited to? When you ask me that, I feel like his wife must have a bank account. I heard that I haven't seen a picture of her, but I heard that she's, not much to look at. I didn't know, I asked about, you think Amy Coney Barrett's giving MAGA Mike money? Is MAGA Mike connected to somebody, yes, there's a direct connect between MAGA Mike and somebody on the Supreme Court. Should I go down the list? Let's ask again. It doesn't look like it's Clarence Thomas, though. There's a dark side of the Federalist Society. Is he connected to? Yes, and I do get that. Okay, is he connected to Roberts? Is it connected to? Yes, Roberts. Who's the one that was saying that we need to take away women's rights because of some draconian thing in the 1700s? No, I'm not getting the connection to the billionaires. I'm getting a connection to Roberts. Yeah. I'm getting Roberts, so I don't really feel like I want to waste time. I don't want to waste time going through the whole entire Supreme Court. We only have so much time. Is it enough for me to just say that, I mean, are you satisfied just to know that he has connections to the Supreme Court, and I asked about Roberts and I got a yes? Or do I have to go through all 9 of them? It's your call. You can tell me. What's going to happen to MAGA Mike? So suffice it to say that he's connected to somebody on the Supreme Court, and he's going to push for these abortion bans. He's a Speaker of the House. This is not his job. You got Roberts immediately, yeah. Yeah, Abby got Roberts immediately. And that's enough for me, right? Yeah, it is an eye-opener, right. Let's see what's going to happen to him in his position. According to what we read yesterday, the astrology and my psychic impression, I think December is it. I think time's up for MAGA Mike in December. Yeah, isn't Roberts the one that pointed to some, like, laws out of the 1700s that women should abide by in 2023? Honestly. I think that this says that MAGA Mike is going to be short-lived as Speaker of the House. I think Warren's trying to educate the public here. Because he knows that I already know that. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Mike. They're calling him MAGA Mike on MSNBC. And I only started calling him that because when he first got that position, people in the chat kept saying, people in the chat were like, it's not Mike Johnson, it's MAGA Mike. And I guess you're right. Yeah, this is MAGA Mike's fate. This is the past coming back to haunt him. This is the past haunting him and him regretting that the past is haunting him. Now, understand me. It's not like there's remorse. And, Warren, do you really need to know how soon Pinocchio will leave? Is it not enough to know that he's leaving? I need to get paid more. Anyway. Sheesh. Understanding the quantity of news. I try to get to everything, but I can't get to all the details about everything. I'm sorry. It's just me. I love you guys immensely. Queen of Pentacles. It has to do with his stand on abortions. It has to do with his view of women. And it also has to do with, he thinks that Americans are depraved and that anyone who is a Democrat is godless. What a freaking, like, what a jerk face. What a jerk. I mean, who does he think what a pompous ass. I'm telling you what, and he calls himself a Christian. Thank you, Gloria. I notice that the questions that I really just recoil at answering are the questions about the people that are so horrid and they're stuck in there like with super glue. Those are the questions I just feel like I don't like the Supreme Court and Clarence Thomas. The ones that, like DeJoy, somebody's asking about DeJoy, the ones that feel like they're stuck there like super glue, I just can't even, I don't even want to get into that energy. Yes, I'm focusing on the axis of evil here, that's for sure. And definitely not a Christian. I mean, if you've signed up for Grassroots of Democracy, even if you don't come to the meetings, you get my newsletters. And I mentioned in one of my newsletters, so sign up for Grassroots of Democracy, grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Allow girl? Alloway girl. Thank you. I mentioned, remember back many years ago, people were wearing bracelets that said WWJD? And, yeah, thank you for your support. WWJD, remember what that meant? What would Jesus do? So what I mentioned in my little newsletter that everyone at Grassroots of Democracy gets, I said they all should be wearing bracelets that say WWT do. What would Trump do? Because we should make them bracelets. Gloria's saying my newsletter is amazing. Thank you. I write newsletters 3 times a week. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. I haven't done a commercial yet. I will. Okay. Let's do that now while I'm thinking of it. Did somebody mention something I need to mention? Hugs from Tennessee. Oh, good. I used to live in Nashville. I miss it, but it's a lot different now. Somebody still has their WWJD bracelet. Oh, wow, cool. We should get a whole box of them made up for all the MAGA heads. And we should oh, someone's asking where Thomas is tonight. Damon's here. We should get a box and get all the bracelets, thousands of bracelets made up, and send them to the House of Representatives for all the MAGAs to wear WWTD. What do you think? Should we do it? Today's the 22nd. I know. Thank you for letting me know, because I was saying yesterday is the anniversary of JFK's assassination, and that's because I thought that today was the 23rd. Do I miss Michigan? I don't know if you're asking me. I was born in Michigan, but I only lived there for 4 years, till I was 4. My mom grew up here on the coast of Massachusetts, and she wanted to be home. That's how I ended up on the coast of Massachusetts. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Even if you can't make it to the meetings, you will get the newsletters, you will get the notes from our Thursday night discussion groups. You really need to join us. There's no reason why not to join Grassroots Democracy. We have got to get rid of these horrible, horrible, horrible people. Muskegon, Michigan. My dad was born and raised there. Loves it. But he had to learn how to love the ocean rather than Lake Michigan. I digress. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. We have to get rid of these horrible people that just want us dead. I mean, look at MAGA Mike. He hates you. MAGA Mike hates you. So, grassrootsofdemocracy.com. I've got plenty of time in my schedule. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is where you book a reading. Thank you to those of you who have booked a reading. Thank you to those of you who have donated. Also, read what Warren just said about Judge Ledig and Lawrence Tribe and George Conway. Good point. You're making good awareness. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. I have a winter solstice event coming up on December. Thank you for the donation. December 17th. Sunday at twilight for 2 hours. We're having a winter solstice celebration. If it's not up on my website, maybe Terry can let me know. I don't think it's up yet, but it will be soon. So just save the date. Yeah, save the date. It's fine that it's not up yet, but just save the date. And also, it's 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's on the website. Terry, you rock. Let's hear it for Terry. The winter solstice event is on the website, PsychicAnnetteDion.com. I do tarot readings and tea leaf readings too. And it's not just a tarot reading. There's a lot of stuff. Church of Spirituality, I'm having a special Thanksgiving Day service. Those of you who don't have any place to go, just tune in, have some a nice meal, watch the service, be with me. There'll be music. It'll just be like a Sunday church service. Tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Church of Spirituality normally every single Sunday at 1 Eastern time. Please watch Church of Spirituality. It will make your life better. And I make awesome manicotti. Maybe I'll make that tonight. And when you become a member, at the top 2 levels, it's a subscription is what it is. And it's down below under the video. You can, you're invited to a psychic party, and tonight, this is Wednesday. Okay, so the psychic party for the month is on the 25th, which is, oh, you're welcome, Darren, which is the 25th, so which is this coming Saturday. So we have a psychic party. If you're a member at the upper 2 levels, definitely come to that. It's a lot of fun. We never know like what we're gonna do. We just kind of keep it wide open. All right, shall we go back to the cards? We're past an hour already. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, tomorrow noon Eastern time. Celebrate. We're going to be giving thanks at Church of Spirituality. Live on my channel. Did you see the picture of Joe Biden on his birthday? I actually put a complaint into Seth Meyers for his late night show because, I mean, the late night shows, they need to stop making fun of Biden's age. Warren wants another group hug, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Group hug for Thanksgiving. Yeah. All right. We don't want to wear out the hugs. Yeah, stop bashing Joe Biden. There's a really cute picture of him blowing out candles on his cake. But late night needs to start talking, you know, I'm going to start writing to them now too. Late night seems to be continually bashing Biden about his age. It's not funny. It would be funny if people weren't using that to bash Biden, right? You can never wear out a group hug, I guess. So I'm pulling cards about Biden. All right, well here we go. Here we go, everyone. I just want you to know that Joe Biden was working with Netanyahu, and his first priority has been the hostages. And he was able to negotiate. Yeah, Seth Meyers was disappointing. I made a comment. Yeah, I made a comment. The first 2.5 minutes of Seth's show, I guess it was last night, were not funny at all. I was so disappointed. I was so let down because he's usually better than that. I don't know who was writing those bad jokes. Anyway, what Joe Biden did in negotiating for the hostages, for some hostages to start getting released, was freaking amazing. I mean, we're not going to look at the imperfections and how, you know, it's a humanitarian crisis, and he was able to do it. Can you imagine Donald Trump doing that? Don't even get me started about this whole mess in the Middle East and the threads that are connected. I will say no more about that. As far as Joe Biden's numbers, I mean, I know we don't watch the polls, so let's just say the energy of the support for the Biden administration is way up. The approval for the Biden administration to the normal people. And I just want to remind you, if you didn't know, the stupid rallies that Trump is having, there's not many people. They're being held in high school gymnasiums. Do you remember your high school gymnasium? So Damon is always stealing the show. So Joe Biden's, the way that people, the most Americans are seeing Joe Biden is way up there. Joe Biden is behind the negotiations of the hostages. It's in the news. That's a fact. He's been negotiating since October 7th to get Hamas to release the hostages, as many as possible. I don't want anybody bashing Joe Biden. It's not okay. It's not okay. He's getting people's lives saved, and we're going to be, oh, he's old. Americans can be looking very shallow in the face of the rest of the world. We don't want that. Anyway, these cards are pointing to very quickly Biden's approval numbers are going up. I don't care what anybody says. The Biden-Harris administration, this is not my opinion. Yeah, Seth should be so lucky to live long enough to reach Biden's age. Well, he'll reach the age, but to be that competent and that on top of it at 81. Stop with the ageism, right? The Biden-Harris administration is, it's interesting there's two women here. Because the women are for Biden. The women are for Biden. I mean, when you look at what these fascist Republicans want for America, it's fascism. Yeah, the word is out. And MSNBC is talking about it a lot more, and they really do need to. So I've been putting the pressure on. Maybe it's working. Do I feel the shift change since Biden did this deal? Well, I've been feeling a shift change. I mean, I just mentioned it. Like, people are way approving. We need an elder statesman, that's for sure. Steeped not only in wisdom and empathy, which I totally agree with, but steeped in experience on the world stage. He was a foreign diplomat. Wasn't he? Yeah, when he was vice president, and prior to that, he knows these world leaders. Yes, the tides will turn. They will. And as far, I do want to read, I know we're going longer than I said I would, but there's so many things I want to read on. And it's Thanksgiving Eve, and we got nothing else to do, right? I mean, I have things to do, but I want to read on the I want to read in the mainstream media again, because I did that the other night, and I want to just see is the truth going to prevail in terms of more people knowing the truth. Yeah, Blinken's great at his job. You can't even keep up with what Joe Biden is doing. And actually today, just a heads up, I decided that I'm going to start doing a segment on my channel where I discuss Joe Biden's accomplishments. I'm actually going to do that. Cheryl's having fun. That's good. Are you making a turkey, Cheryl? Did I miss it? Did you already say yes? It's going to be a pretty Thanksgiving in Maine. It rained all day today, a lot. But I believe tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. Is the mainstream media going to cut it out? Yes, they are. Because it's going to get really challenging in this country, and in a fascist regime where they call the media the enemy of the people, they lose out. So yeah, it's way too challenging for them, but they're going to step it up. They're going to look at what they're doing. The star card is the United States and the Knight of Cups. I really feel the messaging in mainstream media changing. What are you doing? This yeah, I'm gonna start doing a short video, and I'm gonna talk about Joe Biden's accomplishments. Cheryl's having turkey with the MAGA family. Oh, I'm glad that I asked you. Do you want to hear my advice? They're not MAGA. Cheryl, I don't pick up the family members you're referring to that are MAGA. Just so you know, you can just keep it in your head. I feel like they're not so MAGA anymore. Yeah, I do. I feel like they're not. You don't have to talk about it. Just know that. The Knight of Cups. There's a different messaging. You watch. There's going to be a different messaging slant coming. Cheryl, there's a shift coming for the MAGA members of the family. I can feel it. You don't even have to talk about it. Just let them come to it on their own. Midas touch is, yeah, far superseding the numbers on lamestream media. That sounds like a Thanksgiving horror film. Just be patient. These people that got sucked into the cult, just be patient and be loving. Talk about the weather. Talk about how delicious the turkey is. Take Lois's advice and keep your mouth full of food and just listen. And if they cooked the dinner, tell them how amazing it is. Oh, and Cheryl's confirming that it's gotten better lately. Good, you're good. That was my little reading for you. Just talk about positive stuff. Yes, I agree. Mindy's right on target. Just smile. What a beautiful day. What a delicious turkey. Aren't we so blessed? Drink lots of wine. Drink lots of water if you're drinking lots of wine. It's almost time for the tea leaves. I did want to read on something to do with the Republicans. What was it? Do you have a question about the Republicans? I do. Here's my question about the Republicans. and we'll probably wrap it up with this and with some tea leaves. My question about the Republicans right now, this is going to be the last question, and then I'll read the tea leaves for tonight. How's this January, I don't even know what to call it. They're calling it a Fed-surrection. Have you heard that one? How big will the blue tsunami be? Oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. What we need to do and what we're working on. You think MAGA Mike was a witch hunter in medieval times? I need to ask about that. Yeah, we're gonna see. They're calling it a Fed-surrection. Was MAGA Mike a witch hunter? Yes. In medieval times. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm getting a very strong yes on that. Yes, I'm going to do videos of Joe Biden's accomplishments. Just short videos. Okay. Yeah, they're calling it a Fed-surrection. So how is this... The truth always gets revealed, by the way. How is this ploy to gaslight Americans going to go for the MAGA fascist Republicans? Yeah, John's saying it got so much better this year. Yeah, and just so you know, yeah, I got a yes on MAGA Mike was a witch hunter in medieval times. Oh, and on that note, Marjorie Taylor Greene was a... I cannot shake this. I do read past lives. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I've told you this before. I see her in a past lifetime in medieval times as a torturer. Like the scene in The Princess Bride when he's the prince dude is being tortured. She had people in the torture chamber in a past life. She likes to inflict pain. I'm telling you like it. Tell it like I sees it. How's the January 6th gaslighting, calling January 6th? How are the fascist Republicans, the MAGAs, going to do with their gaslighting approach? How's it going to work out for them? Clay Higgins and the ghost buses. It's going to be challenging. And Joe Biden's accomplishments are going to supersede any gaslighting that they're doing. Darren saying, I guess Senator Susan Collins would say, I think MAGA Mike has learned his lesson. Yeah, it's going to be really challenging for the gaslighting, the proposed gaslighting the people to believe it was a Fedsurrection. That the FBI would dress up like Trump supporters and attack their own Capitol. Oh, Mike Lee. Yeah. Well, I don't know if this chatter realizes that the same thing keeps posting over and over and over. I might have to block you, because that makes me feel like it's a bot. It's going to be challenging for them. Joe Biden's accomplishments will be unable to be hidden. Those buses were paid for by Ginny Thomas. Was it those buses? Well, they were ghost buses, according to Clay Higgins. The Six of Wands is all the information coming out about January 6th. That's how it's going to go. The true information. That's the way, I like it. The truth, the actual truth. Goodbye. Where are my wrenches tonight? Okay, because I've had a couple really, really nasty, bots in the chat, and it's like, or, just jerk heads, and it, just so you know, and thank you for, I really appreciate the wrenches. Oh, I was freezing. Did it last very long? When there's somebody in the chat that like totally insults me, am I back? It's so distracting. I can't even begin to tell you. It's just because you can't, doing this work, you're in a zone. My book crashed. My book crashed? I don't understand. You guys are confusing me. Meanwhile, back at the tea leaves. They didn't pop up for you? I know, what an utterly ridiculous claim that the FBI dressed up like Trump supporters. Oh, Marjorie Trader Greene's book. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. I might have to get more moderators. Her book crashed. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just out of curiosity and just for a laugh. Yes, I saw the insult. Oh, are you saying you didn't see the insults? Yeah. Yeah, somebody said they liked the way that I made the pendulum move the way that I wanted it to. That's not how it works. For anybody who doesn't know, the way a pendulum works is the guidance sends a sort of like an impulse to your hand, and then it moves. It's a I don't have to explain it to you guys. You understand. Anyway, the tea leaves for Thanksgiving Eve. This looks like, people keep telling me a witch on a broom. I'm still seeing, this is what I'm seeing. People are going to be talking about that the price of food is going to go up, and oh, I see a shooter. That's not good. The price of food is going to go up. Two separate topics. But I'm seeing that people are really happy this year about the economy. They might not tell you because people like to complain. But for the most part, people are happy about the economy in general. I do see that. Unfortunately, I see a shooter. Yes, I do my best. I'm channeling. Yeah. Do you see the shooter? Can we just make yeah, prices are going down. Can we just make this go away? Everybody visualize no shooter. Because you can make it go away with your mind. Somebody sees a warrior and a witch on a broom. Well, you know, it might be the witchy energy in the room. There was a shooting at a Walmart somewhere. Yeah, you see the shooter? I'm a little concerned about that. I do see, I want you to know that I'm also seeing these horrifying shootings. I just want you to know that yes, we worry. We worry a lot. We worry about the families. People are devastated this Thanksgiving because they've lost people to gun violence. The souls of those people are watching over us, and they're going to help with the gun situation. We need to get the jerks out of our government that just are pushing for more guns. MAGA Mike being one of them. So I hope it motivates you to get involved if you're not involved already. So Jupiter, I'm getting a few messages here about spirits that are leaving the planet being helpers. I hope that you understand that that's, that's really, it helps. It does help that we're being helped by those who have left, even if they left tragically. That's what I feel. We don't want them to leave that way. We want differences to happen. This is a bunny rabbit, and the bunny rabbit is a sign of fertility, so there are more good things coming. And then there's this is the head of a cow. Some dinner tables with empty chairs. This is so tragic in Maine. Yeah. So there's a rabbit, and there's the new improved NRA Never Republican Again. I like that. There's a bull, which reminds me of the sign of Taurus. And okay, so if we stay strong like bull, we will have a lot of really good energy to work with. Because bunnies represent fertility, and in this instance, this is what the bottom of the cup is. What's coming up in the future, and the fertility comes from our groundedness. We need to stay grounded. Taurus is an earth sign. It's about grounded. And we can just sort of like fertilize the soil with goodness. So plant seeds of goodness, and we're gonna come out of this mess. I promise you. I see Mickey Mouse. We might be hearing something about Disney because I see Mickey Mouse here. There's a lot. The guides are telling me through the tea leaves. There's a lot that we can do on the energy. Thank you, John. You're awesome. I really appreciate it. You have a nice Thanksgiving too. Sending you lots of love, all of you. All you see is tea leaves. That's okay. You don't have to. I'm reading the tea leaves. You don't have to read the tea leaves. It takes practice. This all takes practice. It just takes practice. So I see Mickey Mouse. I don't know what's up with that. We might be hearing some news about Disney. And I do see a bird. So this is the tea leaves are saying tonight that we need to learn how to work with energy. So when we sort of have, and I'm going to be talking about this at church tomorrow, when we have good thoughts and fertile soil, then we can plant amazing things and have an amazing country and an amazing world. And Warren wants to give you a little bit of trivia if you didn't know that Mickey Mouse's original name was Mortimer. Mortimer. Maybe the anniversary is coming up or something. I don't know. Yes, you guys are awesome. I wouldn't be here if you weren't so awesome. I mean, I wouldn't be doing PNN. So give yourselves a pat on the back. Pour yourself a nice cocktail or whatever kind of beverage you're into. Have some tea. And hopefully you'll be able to tune in tomorrow for Church of Spirituality at noon Eastern Time. I'm going to go finish up my notes about that. And when you become a member, you get an affirmation in your inbox at all 3 subscription levels. And I'm going to move it to, instead of just Monday through Friday, every day. So please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Please share this video. I want to get my numbers up. And a lurker came out. Thank you, Edna. Much appreciate. And happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. You can watch the church service afterwards too. Join Grassroots of Democracy. I'll see you at PNN also on Friday. All right. Namaste. Be good to yourselves. You rock.